What's up, everybody? I'm Jacob. If you're new here, I talk a little bit about everything. If you like that, stick around a little longer. In today's video, I'm going to explore the question, is AI going to make us dumber? Well, I'm not the only one that asked that question. And in fact, there's a paper on it. And it's long-winded. It's boring. I don't want to read it. I don't think you want to see me read it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the AI read it for me. And trust me, the irony of having the AI do my homework for me is not lost on me, okay? But I'm doing this merely as an exercise to demonstrate the capability of AI to actually summarize complex topics, but not only summarize the topic, but to dumb it down a little bit for you. So let me demonstrate that for you in ChatGPT. So this paper, which has this long title, The Impact of Generative AI on Critical Thinking, Self-Reported Reductions in Cognitive Effort and Confidence Effects from a Survey of Knowledge Workers. It's so long and academic, I couldn't even read the damn title. I'm already bored with it. But anyway, one of the cool things about ChatGPT is you can upload documents, images, all kinds of different things. And as you can see here, I uploaded the PDF already, and I asked the AI with the following prompt. I have a research paper called, and then I put in the long bloviated title, which actually really wasn't necessary, but I just did that for reference. I need this paper summarized and simplified for a high school senior to understand. So that's that idea of that I want it summarized, but not only do I want it summarized, I want it simplified down to maybe a less intellectual level. And AI can do this. It's actually really good at it. Let's see. Also, give me the premise and conclusion in the same simplified manner. So I even kind of just nudged it a little more to say, okay, not only do I want it summarized, but I want you to tell me what this paper concludes. And I also want the whole premise of like why this paper was made, right? And then dumb down that explanation for me as well. So I go on to explain further. The paper is attached as a PDF. So that's, this is a really useful way to increase your productivity. And you can do this with all kinds of different inputs. And I'll demonstrate this more in some lives and other videos. But I thought it was just kind of ironic to, or kind of an inception thing to have an AI take a research paper about AI making people dumber and then tell me the answer. But ironically, the answer ends up being a little more complex than you would think. So let's see what the AI came up with for a simplified summary for high school seniors. So it says the research paper examines how generative AI affects critical thinking among knowledge workers, people who work in jobs that require thinking, creativity, and decision making. So, programmers, maybe some people, even artists, I guess you could say, but you're using your mind a lot to solve problems. The researchers surveyed 319 professionals to find out how using AI changes their effort in thinking critically and whether they rely too much on AI. So that's I thought that's a pretty good summary, or the opening idea. So let's see what the premise is. Generative AI can help people complete tasks faster by generating ideas, summarizing information, and assisting in decision making. And that's critical. The idea that AI is helping in decision making, and another reason why I wanted to use AI to summarize this complex paper, because maybe it's important to something that I need to do. And there's other things that you can summarize, like emails, videos, and I'll get into more of that later on in another video. But the idea is that you need to make a decision, and there's a lot of information that you have to ingest. And if you did it at the speed of a human, it could take you a long time. But, it only took the AI several seconds to ingest this one paper. But let's say you ingest maybe a whole textbook. It could be a way for you to summarize a lot of the topics when you're studying and help you make decisions for a project, all kinds of different things. So this is a very valuable capability, I think. Let's see, but let's see if it's going to make us dumber, or as it was saying, weakening our, or how did it put it? That we'll rely too much on it. And then, like, as a result, don't use critical thinking as much. So let's see what it says. However, the study explores a concern. Does using AI make people think less? The authors wanted to understand whether AI makes people rely on it too much and, in turn, weakens their critical thinking skills. So it's kind of like the same idea where for the longest time, when I was growing up, Gen X, we had to learn multiplications tables. Where there was this big poster that had, all the numbers you'd multiply and their answer, and you had to memorize your multiplications tables. That's what we called it. And then my younger brother, who is right on the cusp of being a millennial, he went to elementary school, and they let him use a calculator. But he cannot do math in his head. But he's got a smartphone, and he can use a calculator and do it. And he understands how the math works. He just can't do it in his head as well or as fast as I can. So, is that really a skill that's needed? It was argued that, well, you have a calculator, why not? And, they let them use the calculators and tests and all that stuff. Okay, so let's look at the key findings. AI can reduce critical thinking effort. Many workers feel they don't have to think as hard when using AI, especially when they trust it. And this is also a dangerous thing too, because this paper is kind of whitewashing some of the skills that I think that are important that you have to develop alongside AI that I've talked about, and that's using emotional intelligence and critical thinking skills. So they use that term too. But the other side of that is judgment, using your judgment on whether or not you trust the AI or the information, how the AI organizes it for you. You still have to make a judgment on whether, what parts of the information you want to keep and which ones you want to throw away. And, if you trust the AI too much, there's this concern, like with the calculator, you get lazy. Those who believe in their own skills tend to think more critically, even when using AI. So I guess that's kind of a short way to just say what I just said. Let's see. Number 2, AI shifts how people think. Instead of deeply analyzing information, users focus more on verifying AI's output, fact-checking. So again, that's using your judgment and critical thinking alongside verifying, or using the AI and verifying its output. I think, again, that's going to be a critical skill alongside being able to learn how to use AI. Let's see. AI helps organize thoughts, but can also make users less likely to challenge or question information. So again, if you're not developing the judgment, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's really important. You don't want to trust AI 100% because it can hallucinate. But yet here I am reading the results from AI. So go figure. Inception, what can I say? Confidence in AI affects thinking. If people trust AI too much, they skip critical thinking. If people don't trust AI completely, they engage more in thinking critically. So I think this is kind of like the difference between people that learn their multiplications tables versus the people that rely on the calculator too much. Maybe I'm making it too black and white, but I can see how, us older folks who maybe learn how to do things by hand can go back, or we just automatically kind of have that skill where we're going to judge more what the AI is saying, versus I think people that grow up with it are probably not going to trust it as much. So we're going to have to put into our education systems learning the emotional intelligence, the critical thinking, and fact checking, and all, and judging the results and all that. Those are going to be absolutely crucial skills. And I know I keep repeating myself, but people constantly overlook this, and it's going to have to be part of our education system. No doubt about it. Okay, number 4, workers having different motivations. Some want better quality work, so they do think critically even with AI. Others don't have time or assume AI is always correct, leading to less thinking. And it's kind of funny because there are some things that I use AI for where I do lean on it very heavily and I trust it way more because I'm busy. And frankly, I've used the tool to do these things many times over and over and over. And that's when I summarize my videos and have it generate chapters. I'm finding that I'm not checking it as often, and I probably should be doing that. Let's see. 5, AI helps some tasks more than others. AI makes simple tasks easier, like summarizing. So again, like what I was using the AI to summarize my video transcripts, to write the descriptions and titles. But then I lean heavily on the AI to do that. But then I have another process where I use the AI to help me generate title ideas and thumbnail ideas. And I still spend a lot more time in that flow that I use the AI for. So that's interesting. Let's see. AI-generated ideas still need human judgment to be useful. That's true because, I got lazy in one aspect of my workflow, but in another part of my workflow, I just, I use it to engage in the creativity more. So interesting. Let's see. Generative AI is a powerful. Oh, and this is the simplified conclusion. What this paper means. Generative AI is a powerful tool, but its impact on critical thinking depends on the user. So again, that question, is AI making us dumb? Maybe the question is dumb. Maybe it's not a complicated enough question, because the answer to that, it seems like it's a lot more nuanced. If people use AI without questioning its results, dangerous, they may lose their ability to think deeply. However, when AI is used alongside critical thinking, it can actually improve problem-solving skills. So again, that goes, I know I'm a broken record, but because a lot of people don't talk about AI this way. They ignore the critical thinking, the human judgment, or more simply, they ignore keeping humans in the loop. It's absolutely critical that while AI is a tool, just like a mouse, right? Mouse can't move by itself. It takes a human to move the mouse, although, that might change sooner rather than later. But the point I'm getting at is humans have to be part of the process so that we can do the judgment, the fact-checking, the emotional intelligence to know, okay, is the AI hallucinating? How much is it hallucinating? Is it biased? And that's where humans in the loop are absolutely critical in the day-to-day use of these tools. So the key takeaway is that AI should assist thinking, not replace it. People should still double-check information, apply judgment, and think critically when using AI. So I ain't going to break that record anymore. But there's the conversation of AGI, which I will bring up in other videos, artificial general intelligence, which is supposedly a new technology that we're on the cusp of breaking. I know Elon Musk has given warnings that we're on the verge of this happening. And this is actually an artificial intelligence that can think critically, that can solve problems like humans, and then supposedly has judgment to a degree like humans. If that happens, it's game over. I don't know what else to say, but for the time being, humans need to be in the loop. But anyway, I don't know what you think. Comment below. Are you excited about integrating AI into your workflows, or are you concerned about it replacing you? Or are you thinking more about it, about how you're going to use it as a tool in day-to-day work, or how is it going to multiply your creativity? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe, and until the next one, peace.